Najia Hao, as they say in China. Welcome back to the channel. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Thank you to all my subscribers and shout out to my newest subscriber, Abel. So today I'm going to be doing another Rocky video. I know there's like a really big gap between the first and second one, but I recently finished up a big section on this passion project that I've been working on. And I'm a little burnt out. I want to take a break before moving on to the next section. So there's a couple reasons why I'm doing a Rocky video or another Rocky video so soon. First of all, the last one got a pretty good reception. I mean, not like a million views, but it actually got more views than my first Rocky video. So I figured I'd go ahead and do another one. Also, this obviously is not my home page. This is the home page of another YouTuber that I really, really love, one of my favorite YouTubers. So as you can see, it's called Popcorn in Bed. Anyway, you can see she has like a lot of Rocky videos herself, which I'll explain in a minute. But I was rewatching her Rocky videos recently, and it inspired me to do today's video. But first of all, before I get into that, let me like kind of explain about Popcorn in Bed. So it's hosted by this beautiful blonde chick you see here. Her name is Cassie. She's originally from Canada and now lives in the States with her husband and kids. And the way she started this channel out is all her life, she only watched chick flicks. And then one day she watched an action movie, was really surprised by how much she liked it. And so she got this idea to start doing a YouTube channel of just herself reacting to action movies. At least that's how it started off. I think she's been doing this for like around 5 years now. She's kind of run out of action movies to watch, so she branches out to other genres now. But that's how her channel got started, and she's very charming. She's a little naive, but that's part of her charm. And she's also very, very perceptive, and she's really fun to watch. I think she was one of the maybe probably was the first YouTuber to ever do one of these channels, and now there's all kinds of copycatters. I've even considered maybe copycatting it. I'm pretty sure she was the original, and every now and then I might watch one of the others, but anytime she reviews a movie that I've seen, I always watch it. And her Rocky reactions in particular were really, really great, really, really fun to watch. Um, and it's a really interesting story how she ended up watching the Rocky series. If I remember correctly, well, I do remember definitely that she did not really want to watch this movie at all, the first Rocky, even though it's like her husband's favorite movie or favorite movie series. And she said that he had tried to get her to watch it with him several times, but she just like couldn't I don't know, get herself in the mood to watch it. So she kind of always refused, always talked him out of it. But I think it actually won like a poll on her Patreon, so she kind of had to watch it. And it was obvious at the beginning of the first Rocky movie that she was really, really not looking forward to it. And she also said how she wasn't really a big fan of Sylvester Stallone, although I don't think she ever watched any of his movies. But anyway, she watched it, and right away, it's pretty obvious she was really digging it. And at the end, she was just really surprised at how much she loved it. And so then she watched the second one, which she loved even more. And today, I mean, she loves all of them. She even likes Rocky 5. But Rocky 2 is her favorite. And at the end of Rocky 2, she actually says she was actually crying during the part where Rocky's like running with the kids. And at the end, she says in her video that all you girls who scoffed at Rocky, this movie was made for us. This is just like one of the greatest romance movies of all time. It's just totally meant for women, which I really loved. And after Rocky 2, she watched all the Rocky movies with her sister, all the way up to Creed 3. Like I said, I was rewatching them recently, and one thing I noticed is how they would often comment on how much they both dislike Paulie. You know, she mentioned it a couple times even when she was just watching it by herself, but her sister also said she really hated Paulie and they couldn't believe just how mean he was. And that reminded me of a story I read a couple years ago. Finally, we're going to get to it. So, anyway, yeah, I'm going to explain why Paulie was so mean. It's a really interesting story. And I'm not 100% sure that it's true. Like I said, I remember reading this. I don't remember where I read it. It might have been on Wikipedia. So, apparently, or reportedly, Burt Young, who played Paulie, actually had a huge mountain-sized crush on Talia Shire, played his sister Adrian. Oh, and I also forgot to mention one thing I forgot to mention about Cassie is she loves Adrian. I guess that's why she hated Polly so much because I mean she doesn't love her in a romantic way, but I think she loves Adrian just as much as Rocky did. So she's always very protective of Adrian. She just every time Adrian comes on screen, she kind of goes weak in the knees. It's really fun. It's cute. It's really cute. I just another thing about her I love. Like I said, please watch at least watch her first the first two. You got to watch the first her first two Rocky reactions. But anyway, um yeah, so apparently Burt Young had a big crush on Talia Shire, who played his sister, and he would get jealous, reportedly, of seeing her do like love scenes with Stallone, and that jealousy kind of got channeled into his performance, which, you know, made him really angry or I guess act more angry. I can't really think of a really good way to say what I'm trying to say, but I'm sure you understand. You understand what I'm saying. So I can't think of something more poetic. But anyway, you get my drift. So that's the reason why Paulie was so mean, why he was like over the top mean. And I think that kind of makes Paulie's character a little more sympathetic and tragic. And another follow-up to this is that Burt Young, he actually wrote a couple TV movies. I think it was his first one, came out in 1978, which he starred in, and he actually cast Talia Shire to play his wife. Again, I don't know if this is true. I mean, I know the part about her playing his wife was true, but I also remember reading that he like reached out to Sylvester Stallone to get his blessing on her playing his um, wife, and he wasn't really too crazy about the idea because he said it was kind of like incest. And this was in 1978 when there were still more Rocky movies to come out. Although Rocky 3 was supposed to be the last one, but I don't know if this came out before or after Rocky 2. But there was at least still one more Rocky movie to come with Burt Young and Talia Shire playing siblings. So you can understand why Sylvester Stallone wasn't crazy about the idea. Yeah, and what's also interesting is that um, Talia Shire, she almost didn't play Adrian. Sure, probably a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people know that the first Rocky movie actually had a very, very low budget. The budget was supposed to be $1 million, uh, but it actually went on to become 1.1 million. But anyway, the reason it was so low was because Stallone wouldn't sell the screenplay, which he wrote, unless he got to play Rocky, and he was like a total unknown. Rocky was the movie that made him a superstar, but before Rocky, he was like a nobody. He was actually offered like $2 million in today's dollars for the script, as long as he didn't play Rocky, but he refused, so he got just like the minimum. And he did get some points on the movie, which I think made him like $1 million or something. The studio, they didn't really have any faith in him. They didn't think he was going to succeed. And Sylvester Stallone, he didn't really think it was going to be a big blockbuster. But anyway, um, the movie did have a very, very pretty, fairly small budget, even for 1976. And they originally actually wanted another actress to play Adrian, but she wanted a little too much money. Luckily, Talia Shire, she was kind of eager to step out of her brother's shadow, who, in case you don't know, her brother's Francis Ford Coppola. And yeah, even though she had just starred in his two Academy Award winning movies, Godfather 1 and 2, just a couple years earlier, She was willing to do the movie for just $7,500, which is like $41,000 in today dollars, which is not a lot to star in a movie that went on to become like the highest grossing movie in 1976. But just imagine what would have happened if they had picked that other actress. Chances are Burt Young would not have such a big crush on her, and maybe his performance would have been a lot different, and maybe that would have affected the final product, and Rocky may have not been as good and successful if it wasn't for Talia Shire. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting. So let me know what you think. Um, would Rocky have been as successful if Talia Shire didn't play? Well, I'm sure that's pretty obvious. It wouldn't have been successful if Talia Shire hadn't played Adrian, but would it have been as successful if Burt Young hadn't had such a big crush on Talia Shire? Again, I'm not 100% this is true, but I don't remember the source, but I remember it being fairly credible or sounding fairly credible. But do you believe it? Do you think this contributed to Rocky's success, Burt Young acting so angry? And does this make Paulie's character more sympathetic to you? Let me know in the comments. And that'll do it for this video. Thanks once again to all my subscribers. And I will see you in the next one. As they say in China, 再见.